Here's what I want you guys to understand. It took me an hour and a half of thinking, working, going back and forth to make this video for you. I finished my coffee, then I finished my coffee again. But I realized that I finally got my words together. And boy, am I happy I got my words together, because it didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. Today's video is you are the story you tell yourself. And I was all over the place, bro. I was talking about LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe, Tiger. Like, the stories were all over the place. But I realized I had to center it back on me. It had to be about, it doesn't matter what someone else's story is. You can't really teach, I guess you can, but for me, I just feel like I have to always be honest with myself. I have to be able to tell you who I am and be truthful in where my life has been, because that helps me step into myself a little bit more. It reminds me of where I came from and what I had to do to overcome. And literally, it was just over and over, man. I kept writing the same things over and over, and I couldn't figure out exactly what I wanted to say. And look, here's the truth. We've talked about a lot of different things. We've talked about motivation. We've talked about, is it worth it? We've talked about all these different things, but I don't think anything matters if you're telling yourself the wrong story. And I remember I used to never get the things I wanted long term. I would sometimes get things, you get one good test grade, or, I'd get, one good paycheck, deal would close, but long term, I'd always burn it. I'd always, the next test would be bad. And I realized, looking back, that I told myself I didn't deserve anything. And I purposefully never gave my best to make sure that I was either surprised by success or received what I already believed. Literally, I'm thinking back, when I used to walk into a test in college, 9 times out of 10, I felt like I hadn't studied enough. I knew I could have done a little bit more. Maybe I took a last-minute Adderall, stayed up all night. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I took the test. When I walked out, I felt like I really didn't do that well. And if I did really well, I was like, man, what a surprise. Who could have seen this coming? Because Lord knows I didn't study enough. I wasn't prepared for that. But if I failed, I was always like, see, I knew I was a failure. I knew who I was. I know where I am. I know where I'm supposed to be in society. And this goes, I think, across the board. I think people try to speak things into your life. I always hear people, talking about how being married is miserable, talking about how wait till you have kids. I hear people talk about how, you can only run so far, so fast, or whatever. You have to take a minute. And you have to decide what it is that you want out of life. And you have to decide who you are. You have to decide who you are. You can make decisions, and yes, those decisions end up almost creating the I can't even think of the word. It helps you create the life that you're going to live. The decisions that you make they build upon the foundation of what you end up becoming. But it doesn't matter what you do if you believe that you aren't what you are striving to be. I don't even know what I just said right there, but it sounded good. The truth is, nothing used to hurt more than the few times I gave my best and it wasn't enough. Because when I gave my best and it wasn't enough, it felt like I wasn't enough. That I studied super hard and then I failed the test. That I gave my best for basketball and somebody beat me. That they were better than me. And now I realize, as I've been working through this process, I fail constantly. I move forward harder and harder each time. But it's not me. I know what I am. I know what I am. Not what I believe I am. Not what I think I am. Who I am. So all I can do is give my best, and the outcome is the outcome. Regardless, it doesn't change who I am. We don't get what we want. We get who we are. We don't attract what we want or what we believe we need. We attract who we are. If your friends are a certain way, if your family is a certain way, if your job is a certain way, maybe it's that way because of who you are. And I'm not going to tell you to quit your job. I'm not going to tell you to leave your family. I'm not going to tell you how to do anything. All I can say is you need to make a decision of who you are. Who you are right now. Not who you will be in the future. Who am I right now? I knew I was better than what I was when I was 260 pounds. I didn't know I could be 200 pounds, but I knew who I was, and it wasn't that. I knew who I was when I was at my job, and a part of me knew I had to leave. Like, I just had to go. I couldn't explain it to anyone, but I had to. Bro, this one feels good. This one feels, this is the energy I was missing in my other videos. I'm going to run it back. When I look back at the life that I lived, I believed I didn't deserve anything. And I purposefully never gave my best to make sure that I was either surprised by success or received what I already believed I deserved. Giving your best and failing hurts the most, because when your best isn't good enough, it feels like you aren't good enough. But the truth is that you shed the version of yourself that maybe didn't achieve it at that moment, and you become even better. When I ran an 11-minute mile, I eventually got to a 10-minute mile, then a 9, then an 8, then a 7, then a 6, then a 5-minute mile. That's what I'm going to get to. I know what I am capable of. I know who I am right now. And maybe the outcome isn't in direct proportion to who I know I am, but I know that's who I am. I know who I am. Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Because if things aren't going the way you want them to go, it might be because you don't believe you are what you are, that you don't deserve what you want, that you don't deserve what you need. And that's the life you have to step into your own greatness. You have to make the decision of, this is who I am right now. Not who I'm going to be, not who I was, not these stories that you tell yourself, not the stories that other people tell you about how marriages suck and this sucks and that sucks. And when you get older, your limbs hurt and this hurts and you can't do this and you can't do that and life is this and work is this. Be who you are. And when you set the precedent of who you are, anything is possible, because if you can imagine it, then you can create it, because you believe you are it. You may not be able to see it, but you can bring it into being. That is why we look up to the Steve Jobs and Kanye West or Donald Trump or whoever, someone who people said you cannot do this, whether you agree with them or not. Elon Musk said in 2007 that we were going to have electric cars, that we were going to have, rockets that were going to go into space and then come back onto Earth. No one could see it, but they could see it. I believe in you. I love you. And I know you can be anything. And I make these videos because, I remember what it was like to feel like you don't deserve anything, to feel like you aren't something, that something is missing from life. It hurt. It hurt all the time. Life hurt. And I was constantly reminded of the fact that I wasn't enough. But it wasn't until I believed I was enough, it wasn't until I demanded better of myself, that the outcome started to not matter. That I knew what I could be. I knew what I was. I'm really working on the word. It's not about what I was going to be. It's not about what the outcome was going to be. It was who I was, what I deserved in that moment. And it came to pass. It happened, and it keeps happening. Every single day, I keep moving towards the goals and the things that I want in life. And I know you can have the same. I'm going to start posting the books that I've read, things about them. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. I'm not going to tell you how to do things with your family. I'm just going to tell you that you are capable of anything. You just have to believe it first. That's what it comes down to. You have to believe it in yourself. Any coach, any mentor, any mastermind, any of those things, the thing that they have to do for you that maybe at this moment you're having a hard time doing is helping you see what you already are. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. You guys are learning to be unchained with me. I'm learning to be unchained. It's learning to be unchained.